The world awoke to a headline that would reshape the Indo-Pacific, sending shockwaves through capitals and communities alike. Overnight, the region's future seemed to pivot on a single, historic announcement. United States declares Philippines top Indo-Pacific ally. This was more than just a diplomatic headline. It was a signal to the world that a new era of partnership and commitment had begun. The announcement, made jointly by the White House and Malacanang, reverberated from Washington to Manila, and far beyond. It was broadcast live, watched by millions, and dissected by analysts across continents. This was no empty gesture. It was a bold, strategic pivot, the culmination of months of behind-the-scenes negotiations and careful planning. The U.S. drew a line through the South China Sea with the Philippines as its anchor. Naval vessels patrolled contested waters, a visible sign of the new alliance's resolve. Social media exploded with reactions, hashtags trending worldwide. Leaders in Tokyo and Canberra voiced strong support, while Beijing issued a sharp rebuke, warning of consequences and calling for restraint. The tension was immediate, the stakes enormous. Newsrooms buzzed with speculation. Experts debated the risks and rewards, and the world watched, holding its breath. For the Philippines, it was reassurance after years of regional intimidation and uncertainty. Citizens gathered in public squares watching the news unfold, feeling a renewed sense of security. For the U.S., it was a move from rhetoric to action, a demonstration that promises of support would be backed by real presence and resources. The Indo-Pacific, once a term for policy wonks and diplomats, was now the world's main stage. Its crowded ports and busy shipping lanes had become the arteries of global commerce and security. The safety of global trade and the sovereignty of nations hung in the balance. Every container ship, every port operation, now carried new significance in the shadow of this alliance. This was a promise: the Philippines would not stand alone. American and Filipino soldiers stood side by side, a visible symbol of unity and shared purpose. Months of quiet diplomacy and military planning had led to this moment. Behind closed doors, leaders and strategists had mapped out a future of cooperation and mutual defense. The declaration was a direct response to escalating harassment in Philippine waters, a clear message that aggression would not go unanswered. Backed by American power, it redefined the region's security architecture. Joint exercises and patrols sent a message of deterrence and readiness. Tonight, history is being made, a new chapter in the U.S.-Philippines alliance. The world watches as two nations stand together, shaping the future of the Pacific for generations to come. At the heart of this shift is a modernized military agreement. The U.S. gains access to key Philippine bases, not sprawling installations but agile strategic sites. Forces rotate, supplies are pre-positioned, and joint development of facilities is underway. New ADCA sites in Luzon and Palawan are no accident. Luzon is near Taiwan. Palawan faces the Spratlys. These bases enable rapid response and real-time patrols in contested waters. Joint U.S.-Philippine patrols now operate in the South China Sea, sending a clear message to challengers. For the Philippine Navy and Coast Guard, this is a game-changer, restoring security and confidence. The partnership enhances defense capabilities, intelligence sharing, and seamless coordination. This is not about dominance, but a partnership of equals, defending sovereignty together. In Palawan and Zambales, the news brought a wave of relief and hope that swept through entire communities. For years, uncertainty had shadowed their daily lives, but now, a sense of optimism began to take root. Filipino fishermen, who had long been harassed and driven away from their own waters, saw the joint patrols as a vital lifeline. It was more than just protection, it was a promise that their struggles were finally being recognized. Local leaders called it the answer to our prayers, a long-awaited chance to reclaim lost livelihoods and restore the dignity of honest work. They spoke with renewed confidence, knowing their voices were finally being heard. For these communities, the alliance means more than just security. It means food on the table, children returning to school, and families sharing meals together once again. It's about restoring hope, education, and dignity to everyday life. Philippine and American flags flew side by side, fluttering in the coastal breeze, symbols of gratitude, partnership, and a shared commitment to peace and prosperity. The joint patrols are a shield, not a provocation, asserting the right to fish, to work, and to live in peace. They stand as a visible reminder that these waters, and the people who depend on them, will be protected. The alliance is not just a matter of policy or politics, it's a necessity deeply felt by ordinary citizens. In markets, schools, and fishing docks, people talk about the renewed sense of safety and hope. Their voices, so often drowned out by larger powers, are now central to the story. They speak with pride, determination, and a belief that their future is worth fighting for. This is about protecting people and their way of life, about ensuring that families can walk the seashore without fear, and that traditions can be passed down to the next generation. The hope and resilience of these communities are the true foundation of the renewed partnership. Their ability to rebuild after every storm, to find joy in simple moments, is what gives this alliance its real strength. The alliance is more than military might. It's about safeguarding futures, nurturing dreams, and ensuring that the next generation can grow up in peace, with opportunities their parents could only imagine. The Philippines' importance is written in its geography. Over 7,600 islands form a barrier between the Pacific and South China Sea, controlling vital shipping lanes. Strategists call it an unsinkable aircraft carrier, a launch pad for power and surveillance. The Bashi Channel to the north is a choke point near Taiwan, critical for naval movement. Palawan's proximity to the Spratlys offers a frontline view of contested waters. Control here means monitoring, denying, or enabling access to the region. The Philippines is the gatekeeper of Southeast Asia's maritime domain. Trillions in global trade pass through these waters. Their security is the world's concern. An unstable or hostile Philippines would threaten global commerce. The island's fate is tied to the fate of the world economy. This is why the world cares. Geography makes the Philippines indispensable. Its stability is everyone's business. The U.S.-Philippines partnership is rooted in shared history and sacrifice. Forged in World War II, it was formalized by the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty. For decades, the treaty was the bedrock of Philippine security, though its application in the South China Sea was once unclear. The alliance has weathered base closures, political shifts, and doubts on both sides. Yet, deep military and personal ties have kept it alive. Today, new threats have swept away old ambiguities. The U.S. now makes it clear. An attack on Philippine forces, even in disputed waters, will trigger mutual defense. This transforms the treaty from a relic into a living guarantee. The Philippines now stands with renewed confidence. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, is the backbone of this modern alliance. Signed in 2014, it allows U.S. access to select Philippine bases, no return to old-style occupation. It respects Philippine sovereignty while enabling real cooperation. U.S. forces can build facilities, pre-position equipment, and rotate troops for joint training. This boosts interoperability and speeds up crisis response. New EDCA sites are strategically placed near Taiwan and the South China Sea. U.S. investments upgrade runways, storage, and barracks, benefiting the Philippine military for decades. EDCA is about deterrence, not warfighting. The U.S. presence complicates any adversary's plans, making conflict less likely. This is a peacekeeping agreement designed to prevent war before it starts. The alliance is about readiness, resilience, and peace. The urgency behind this alliance is clear. China's relentless campaign in the South China Sea. Beijing ignores international rulings, using intimidation and gray zone tactics, harassment that stops short of open war. Chinese Coast Guard and maritime militia swarm Philippine waters, block access, and endanger lives. Artificial islands, militarized and armed, project Chinese power deep into Southeast Asia. The result? Constant tension, lost livelihoods, and a challenge to Philippine sovereignty. China aims to make its control a fait accompli. This aggression has driven the Philippines to seek an ironclad U.S. commitment. The U.S. and Philippines are responding with unity and resolve. The annual Balikatan exercises, shoulder to shoulder, now feature thousands of troops, advanced drills, and real-world scenarios. The U.S. is helping modernize the Philippine military with new ships, jets, and defense systems. These are not tools of invasion, but of deterrence, meant to deny any aggressor control of Philippine territory. Joint exercises test and showcase this combined strength. Day-to-day cooperation is increasing. Intelligence sharing, joint planning, and specialized training. The goal: seamless partnership, ready to respond from generals to frontline troops. If the treaty is invoked, both forces will fight as one from day one. This deep integration is the alliance's true strength. Together they deter war and defend peace. This alliance is about more than just the Philippines. It's about shaping the future of the entire Indo-Pacific region. At its core, it stands for the vision of a free, open, and secure maritime space, where nations can prosper without fear or coercion. The US-Philippines partnership is built on upholding a rules-based order, ensuring that every nation, no matter its size or power, has equal rights and a voice in the global community. This commitment to fairness and respect is what keeps the region stable. The South China Sea is more than a body of water, it's a vital global artery. Over a third of the world's shipping passes through these waters, carrying goods, energy, and resources that fuel economies across continents. Any disruption here would send shockwaves through the global economy, triggering crises that could affect millions of lives, from rising prices to shortages of essential goods. By ensuring freedom of navigation, the alliance acts as a guardian of international trade, protecting the lifelines that connect nations and support livelihoods everywhere. Both nations are vibrant democracies, united not just by treaties, but by shared values, respect for human rights, the rule of law, and a deep commitment to peace and cooperation. In an era marked by rising authoritarianism and uncertainty, this alliance stands as a beacon of hope, showing that unity and democratic ideals can light the way forward. The declaration of the Philippines as America's top ally is not the final chapter. It's the start of a renewed partnership, one that will adapt and grow to meet the challenges of a changing world. This alliance is an investment in peace, stability, and opportunity for generations to come, ensuring that the Indo-Pacific remains a region of promise and possibility throughout the 21st century. The path ahead will not always be easy. There will be challenges, but the message is clear. Together, the US and the Philippines are stronger, more resilient, and ready to face whatever comes next. By standing shoulder to shoulder, the US and Philippines send a powerful signal to the world. They are united, determined, and prepared to defend the future they believe in. Together, they secure not just the seas, but the enduring promise of freedom, prosperity, and peace for all.